The plot thickens. As we mentioned on yesterday's video, George Knapp was talking about that hearing and had some kind of harsh words for it. Well, that's followed up by his partner in podcasting, Jeremy Corbell. Now, remember, we've been talking about everything that Jeremy had said about this hearing was that it was basically going to be a game changer and it was going to change everything, and that it was going to be looked upon as the day that everything kind of came to light. And it didn't. And so you really hadn't heard from him about those claims after the hearing. Well, that's also changed. There is now the new Weaponized. They addressed it, and the UFO Joe also was out there kind of breaking this down. And the comment itself is very interesting. So we're going to play those comments, and we're going to, because it's an answer to what we've been talking about on this show. It's like, well, he had said all these different things. What happened? He went as far as to call the hearing dishonest and comparing like the two of them. And then and I don't remember him afterwards, and you guys can correct me in the comments section if I'm wrong, but I don't remember him saying after this hearing went down, the second one, that, oh man, that was great. I know that in the beginning, before it started, he had tweeted out, like, hyped. So before we take a look at the clip, I wanted to say thank you to all of you guys for the continued support here on the channel. Make sure if you haven't subscribed already, do that. I'm going to tell you real quick about our friends over at Mint Mobile and, of course, Tile. Here you go. With big wireless providers, what you see is never what you get. Somewhere between the store and your first month's bill, the price you thought you were paying magically skyrockets. With Mint Mobile, you'll never have to worry about gotchas ever again. When Mint Mobile says $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan, they mean it. So I had been using the regular providers for a bit, and I'm not going to lie, you hear about Mint Mobile all the time. And I was like, how true is this? True. Very true. It is straight up. They tell you the truth with how this thing works. You got to say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. You use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan, just $15 a month, you got to go to mintmobile.com/DTE. That's mintmobile.com/DTE. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/DTE. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower, above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. This is the easiest thing I've ever talked about, ever, on this show or any show I've ever been on. Tile. This is the best. I'm telling you right now that I lose my keys all of the time. At least I did. My wife would say, how do you do that again? We were supposed to go somewhere. I was supposed to pick up her sister from the airport, and I couldn't find her. We're like, oh, my God, she's going to have to take an Uber. It's going to cost so much money now. Oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And I don't have my keys. I can't find them. Luckily, I found them in time, but it took a lot of unnecessary stress in order to get there. And I don't have to do that anymore, because with Tile, it could be for your keys. I mean, it's so many different things. For your remote control, for it. I have so many of them now, and I continue to use them and give them to my family. I can track where my kids are. I got a teenager, man. I got to know where her phone is. I got to know all these different things. It's so wonderful, and I can tell you also I'm giving it to my family from my dad. Is older now. I'm giving it to him so I can track him, know where he's going, how he's doing, if he's healthy. I'm able to do that, to know if anything's wrong. That's what Tile helps me do. So it really does. It takes out so much stress. I am telling you, if you don't already, they've been around for a bit. This is the time to get them. Get them. It's wonderful, especially for parents, especially for people who lose crap all the time like me. Get it. So family proof your family with Life 360's Tile trackers. You got to do it. You go to tile.com. Use that code DTE. You get 15% off. That's easy. So again, tile.com. Use that code DTE. This is a no-brainer. It's easy. I lose my remote control all the time. Not anymore. Tile.com. Use the code DTE. All right. Thank you to our sponsors. Once again, if you want to help out the show, that's how you do it. All right. Let's get into this comment, man. Let's play the footage, and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
The feeling was different this time, and I couldn't really put my finger on it. It was ominous. It was weird. I was pumped. I did all these texts before. I'm like, oh, it's coming out. Shit's coming out. Well, that's because I had something. We had something to say, to come out. Now, that didn't happen. Not that way. But that's okay. There are other ways things can come out. So the feeling in the room, George, I finally put my finger on it. I did last night, for real. First time was real. It was honest. This hearing was dishonest. Now, not Siri, she's talking at me. This hearing was dishonest. Now, Lou Elizondo, as an example, just one example, he was honest. He told the truth. Don't fuck with my words. The entire setup, the hearing itself, the months of me working with accountability and oversight, the calls you were on, the calls I brought other people on, the people I walked into offices. I don't want to say too much right now, but that was the difference, George. The feeling, if you were in there, you would have told me like this. That's the difference. It didn't register till now. The entire hearing was controlled. Now, I'm either crazy or I'm saying a lie or whatever people want to say, but I bet we're going to find out.
So we'll be definitely hearing more about Congress and people behind Congress and manipulations and things that are taking place. And maybe it all ends up in a good place. It could end up being a positive sort of a development, even though underhanded, dishonest tactics are being used to get there.
As I said, the plot thickens. This is interesting, right? This is like the first real response that we've heard from Jeremy Corbell since those claims that this was going to change it. And he addresses it. He says, look, we thought we had something big, and we told them, hey, this is the thing. Let's get to it. And this also maybe goes back to what George Knapp was saying on that interview that we talked about yesterday, which was there were firsthand whistleblowers that they could have spoken to, and they opted not to. You could tell when we were watching this thing that it didn't feel like the first one did. It didn't feel like it seemed more like a spectacle. It did. I mean, it absolutely did. It felt like even the way Nancy Mace was tweeting out with the UFO photos and alien stuff and other things, it seemed like it was a circus. Didn't seem like. So when they say it was dishonest, I can understand what they're saying. Now, I always say, no matter what it is, you better make sure 100% that things are going to go down before you say this is going to be a game changer. Because you can say, we had this and we gave this to them, so I thought they were gonna show that, and then my words would have been true. Yeah, but unless you know 100% that they're going to show it, and 100% that you can trust these people, because clearly you can't. And there are other things happening. Clearly, from what he just said, what George Knapp said, there is a containment around this, for sure. And it's getting dirty. And it looks like it when it comes especially to the politics that is now associated with this. Very much so. The other thing that he has said before, Jeremy Corbell, and he says it again, he said there are other ways for this stuff to come out. I think that's got to be the last time he says that. I think you just got to, and I know it's easier said than done. But don't say that anymore, because you've been saying that. Look, I believe that he's got stuff. I believe that he has more people and other things and things that probably would have changed the game inside of that if they would have showed it, because he was very confident, and he must have been sitting there being like, why didn't they do, like, we showed them, like, what is happening? So he seemed, even when he was talking in that footage, when you saw him talking to Lou Elizondo, he seemed rattled. And clearly he was. He hasn't really had a statement from it since he just did this on his podcast. So it's one of those things where you think you are in, on the winning team, and it turns out that you're not. is what it seems like right now. Now, that very well could change. It could change with more information, but I think that I'm starting to buy into more and more that even though it's great when Congress talks about it and makes it seem less taboo and all of that, I feel like it ain't going to happen with Congress. It's just not. It's too crooked with everything. There's like, now that you can get, and I mentioned this yesterday, so I don't want to rehash the whole thing, but now that you can get into the spotlights on you and you can find a way to further your career, and then, oh yeah, let me pick up that UAP thing. That'll work. But we don't want you to talk about that. Don't worry, we won't. We'll bring up this. Can we mention that? Yeah, you can mention that. That's fine. Just don't say this, don't say that. And it seems like that is the case, because calling it dishonest, when he said that, I didn't say, really? Wow. I went, yeah, it seemed dishonest. It seemed weird. It did not have that, like Jeremy Corbell said, it did not have that feel that the first one had, where it was like, this is something that is happening right now that we're getting. I mean, even the NASA guy who's given Star Trek, symbols when he's getting sworn in and all that, it seemed silly. And it was a bit of a waste of time for a lot of people, because there was nothing inside of there that really moved the needle on mainstream coverage, and certainly didn't move the needle in the community. So the fact that he's calling this dishonest, that's got to be a real bummer for them too, because they feel like, these were the people that were, because you've seen past interviews where, like, we are in touch with these people, we're having meetings with these people, and they're getting it done. I feel like they're probably very discouraged right now. It seems like it from the way that they're both speaking. But I don't know. What do you think? Did you think that the hearing felt dishonest? Put your comments in there. Tell me what you thought. Thanks for being here. Again, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it already. Trying to get Attack Peter on here today, if not today, then tomorrow, to talk about those orbs, because I really want to have a in-depth conversation about it. I have a pretty good interview coming up next week that you guys are going to be excited about. I don't want to announce who yet, because if it falls through, then I'm promoting something that never happened. Anyway, so thanks for being here. I appreciate it, and we'll see you later.